My name is Cecilia Dennard and I am the owner of Glitter by MamaBoss. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video on how I make this gorgeous 24-ounce HYDROFIT cup. And we did half vinyl, we did a split, and then we did the rest, all the glitters. All these glitters are from Glitter by MamaBoss, from me. And I did this video because I wanted to show you a creation that you can do from getting your sub box. So this is all from the May box, and this was to prepare you for a beach theme. So I really cannot wait to see what everyone comes up with. And in the front, we did chunky glitter dye. Give it, of course, some bling. We're gonna do a quick video, guys, of how we did this. There was a lot of challenges, but you know what? You gotta believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you push yourself, and these are the results. All right, guys, so let's get started. Get right into the video. Okay, we're gonna do a quick unboxing of our May box, and inside you're gonna find the glitters named Paradise, Seafoam, Seaweed, Sunset, Coral, and a little extra of mermaid tail embellishments. So now let's go ahead and let's put them in shakers. All right, you're gonna need to get your 24-ounce HYDROFIT stainless steel tumbler. And first things first is we are going to prep this tumbler. And by prepping, I mean we're going to sand it. So this is a sanding sponge block that you can find in any hardware store or even at your local Walmart. And go ahead and give it a good sand all around. So that way your spray paint, if you use spray paint over, or any base color, can adhere very well to your stainless steel tumbler. When you're finished sanding, what I'm doing is just spraying alcohol spray on a paper towel and just giving it a good clean all around, just to take away all that dust that we were sanding off. All right, so one thing that I wanted to share before you start marking the separation where you want to put the washi tape or the split line, you're gonna want to close your top to see exactly where you would want to put the washi tape. So that way your split is right here and not in the middle right here. So, example, like this. You want it to match here, because if you just start doing your tumbler, and what if it stops screwing like here, then this is how your cup's going to be. So you want to make sure that your line evens with your split. I'm using the washi tape. I had originally started using the painter's tape, the blue one, the Scotch one, and it was just too thick for my liking and really hard for me to work with. So I switched to some washi tape that I had here, and I just went with it. I did as straight as I could, and then just kind of eyeballed it that it looked even on the bottom, equal sides of the half, and then on the top, just make sure that you match it to the other half of the tumbler, just like that. In this part, all I'm doing is just getting the measurements from one split to the next one. It's almost about 4.5. And then I'm going to get the length of the cup is 8 inches. So I can get a better idea what I need to do to cut the vinyl for the split. I picked this gorgeous vinyl called Aloha Hello, and it's from Aunties Tay's. When I was shopping the Jessica Flynn vinyl collection that she just recently released, I saw this also in the store, and I just had to have it. I've seen her with the cup on it in her live videos. Unfortunately, she does not sell her cups because she teaches how to make tumblers. So when I saw it, I just had to have it and put it on the cup. And let me tell you, you really have to think this, because if you cut this wrong, you want to make sure that it's facing the correct way. You only have one sheet to work with, so if you mess up once, you're probably going to have to rebuy the vinyl. So pay attention here as you see how the vinyl is being faced, because remember, we want to measure this 8 inches tall because that's going to be going standing up facing the tumbler. So now right there, it's facing the correct way, like that. If we would have cut it the opposite way, then it would have been totally looking very different, if that makes sense. All right, now that we already measured the length of the tumbler and we've got that cut out, now let's go ahead and measure the width of the cup. And here it's measuring about 4 inches and 9/16. So it's right a little after half an inch of 4.5 inches. Now it's all measured and fits perfect. Let's move on. As you can notice here, I took off the washi tape. I went outside and I did the spray paint with Rust-Oleum flat white, and it was really windy, so there was a little blotch there, but I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to cover it up with glitter on that side. This is where I cut off on the backing, and I'm applying Windex because I recently just learned this method. Putting Windex on the back of the vinyl can be really forgiving when you're placing it on your tumbler, and I don't have another sheet, so I don't want to risk it to where I mess this up and once it peels it rips. So I used Windex for this whole process here. Another idea would be you would probably want to put your lid back on and see where the separation is again. I would do this differently where I would put the lid on top and put the washi tape back so you can see where to put the vinyl. I got extremely lucky here, and it was like fate ended up still evening up for me. I'm using a squeegee here, and I'm just getting any bubbles out and just really working with the vinyl. As you can see, the Windex was really nice because I was able to peel up and fix if there was a bubble or a crease or anything like that. So just work with it, slowly cut off a piece, Windex it, and then keep repeating the process until you're happy with the result. In this part, you see me just folding in the top of the vinyl because this is where we're going to get an X-Acto knife and then just trim off the excess. And final part, just getting any little bubbles that I can see and sliding them off. This is called a cup edging tool that I purchased on Amazon, and it is amazing because all I do is put pressure from the tumbler to the tool and it cuts off that little excess that I want to get off on the bottom of the tumbler, which you'll see here in a bit. Then get your X-Acto knife, and this is where you're going to cut the excess off of the vinyl. And as you can see how I'm placing my X-Acto knife, I'm placing it completely straight and then just right there, getting it all off. Alright, so it's safe to say that Mod Podge is not my friend, and I struggled really bad in this part. But hey, this is a learning experience and, you know, a challenge. So here I just applied Mod Podge, and then this is where I'm sprinkling the glitter, and this was so difficult to even explain it, how much trouble I had placing, especially these are new shakers that I'm not even familiar with working with, since I had smaller shakers that I usually use. So I just went with it here. This is a first coat of Mod Podge. And then what you do is you let it dry. If you want it to dry faster, I applied a heat gun toward it. Here, you're gonna see the second coat, and I'm applying it again. And after I finished this process, I said, you know what, this isn't working out for me. So I went ahead and I applied a third part of Mod Podge, and it was easier for me to sit it on my turner and work with it that way, which you'll see here in a bit. Okay, so I wanted to share in this part doing the tumbler. I did really one thick coat of Mod Podge, and then what I ended up doing was it was easier for me to place the tumbler on the turner, so I had better control of it. So what I did is I started from one corner and then glittered all the way to the next quarter, but I left this much of a gap in between, and that's when I went ahead and I put this color and this color in this, and I was able to just shake it off, and that's what helped me do the blend. And I repeated the process over, so that I would glitter up to here and then just leave the gap in between, put both this glitter and this glitter, this color and this one, put it in here, and then just tap it around, and it was able to give me this beautiful ombre. So I wasn't able to show the process, and I apologize for that. It was really hard getting this on video. So here it is. I'm going to let this dry. We'll clean all of this up when we get back. Here we're just going to Mod Podge now the bottom of the cup. I didn't want it without it just because on the spray paint there was a lot of scratches on it. So I'm going to cover it up with the glitter, the Cullens. It is a gorgeous sparkly white. Here I'm going in with the first coat of epoxy, and I went ahead and did 3 coats before I started doing anything else. On the 3rd coat is when I applied this this pigment called Epoxy Pigment White, and as you can see, it did not go as planned as I wanted to. So this is where I started cleaning it up, and I just really did the much that I could with my glove on and fixing it to just be on the bottom where the seafoam is. I also applied the Chunky Mix Diamond in the front, as mentioned before in the beginning of the video. I had this washi tape here that I purchased on Amazon, and this purple was the perfect one that I wanted for this specific project. And all I'm doing is just lining up just where I have the separation. If I would do anything different, I would cut that tropical, the Hello Aloha vinyl and place it on the bottom. Okay, truthfully here, I'm just being really, I guess you can say, picky on, I had applied the vinyl before and it was so crooked. The sides were complete, like one side was shorter than the other side had more space. So I went ahead and I just measured from one side to the other, and I put some washi tape there just to help me guide me where to put the vinyl in between, and this worked for me. Doing this really helped me line it up even, and I was really happy with the results. In this part, I'm just going to clean a little bit of the inside with some acetone. We'll go back later in the end of the video and we'll detail clean it, but for here, I'm just trying to take any paint that I see off and clean it really well. Now I'm going to apply some quick coat, and I have to tell you guys, make sure that you let this dry fully before you apply your epoxy, and I'm going to tell you why. because I got distracted and it was still wet when I applied the epoxy and it messed up the vinyl, but luckily I was able to save it. Here I'm still using the quick coat just so I can seal that vinyl, and then with the final layer then I do the artist resin. So if you use fast set, then it's going to smell extremely bad, and your customers or yourself are not going to enjoy the smell of that. So always do on the final layer the artist resin epoxy. All right, let's get our acetone and a paper towel, and let's just, this is going to be the importance. This is what's going to bring your customers back. This is what I think is detailed inside your cup. It's, I've heard horror stories of people opening their tumblers and there's a lot of gunk in there. So this is really important. Clean your tumblers inside, get that paint out, use acetone for it, use a glove. Excuse me for not using a glove. I've used it many times. I don't have a reaction to it, but safety first, of course, use a glove on that process, and then get your X-Acto knife and cut off any dried epoxy in there and get it out. Kind of really look inside there, see if there's anything stuck in there, and use your X-Acto knife. And then I went ahead and I sanded softly, just if anything feels rough, you don't want to go too hard. And then the final part would be right here, just finishing cleaning up, and we're done. All right, after you've finished doing all those steps, don't forget to wash your tumbler and wash the top, and then it's ready to go. I hope you love this video, and I'm excited if you guys purchase the June box. Be back in a month for another video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next month, guys.